Hello, everyone. I'm Amy Lou Porter, one of the founding members of Power of 100 Women Lincoln County. Thank you all for attending this evening. We're excited. This is our 10th Power of 100 meeting. Is that wrong? I'm like doing math, isn't it? So our three nonprofits presenting tonight are Clothe Our Kids, Hands of Mercy, and Southern Alliance Spay Neuter Clinic. Each will present for a maximum of 5 minutes with additional 5 minutes for questions. Then all individuals and one person from each team will vote to select the winner. The link to vote has already been emailed to everyone. That will open up after the last presentation is complete. And we will give everyone 5 minutes to vote, and then we will announce the winner. You will then make your check payable to the winner. If you are mailing in your donation, we're doing that different this time. You'll mail it to P.O. Box 1450, Fayetteville, Tennessee, 37334. And so, that's it, sorry. Anyway, presenting first will be Clothe Our Kids.
Hello, I'm Sarah. I am the director of Clothe Our Kids, and we are located right here behind you guys at 200 North Main. We provide clothing for kids who are in need and high-risk kids. We are not an open storefront, so we're not open to the public. It's all by request only. So all clothing requests have to come in through a resource. The resources are anyone from school, any of the school officials, teachers, nurses, guidance counselors, anyone with social workers, anyone from court systems, and then anyone from the churches like family ministry, youth ministers, anyone in that kind of like a role. They fill out the clothing request. Everyone has like the Google link. If they don't have the Google link, then I send it to them. I tell them that it's just for them. It's just not for like the public, you know, that anyone can just send in a clothing request. So all clothing requests come in on Wednesdays. We are open on Wednesdays from 9 until 2, and that's when we start to pack up the kids. Every child gets 7 outfits. So they get pants and shirts, hoodies, jackets. We're doing a lot of winter jackets right now and hats. New pair of socks and underwear, shoes. So they all get that. We get them packed up in these bags that we get from Miss Cindy Gray. These are really nice bags. You know, it's very discreet. It doesn't have our name on it. So when they get delivered to the schools, and the parent picks them up, or if they go home on the bus, it's very discreet, so it doesn't have our name on it. And especially with the kids who are in foster care, this is something that they can keep. It's something that they can take with them. It's theirs. And then of course we always put in this little card right here: you are packed with love, and these clothes are for them to keep. So so that's kind of like the process of what's done. We get all of our donations from you guys. You know, it's all when we're open at 9 o'clock, we get a lot of people who drop off a bunch of donations. We also have a drop chute on the side of our building, and then we get a bunch of monetary donations. So everything that we're able to do is because of the community and because of you guys. So we thank you, and we appreciate that. This year we have closed for the 2022 calendar year, 415 kids. It's, yeah, I think last year I think this is like the biggest year. Yes, thank you. 52% of that is with the DCS, and 24% of that is with the schools, and 18% with the Head Start. So, and one of my favorite things is packing up the kids. You know, we always try to make sure the kids, all their outfits match. So when they're have clothes throughout the week, everything matches. This shirt will match with these pair of pants, or everything goes, you know, together. And one other thing is when you walk through Clothe Our Kids, if you guys have ever been there, if you haven't, I welcome you there. But as you go through Clothe Our Kids, it's a visual organization. So when you walk in, you see everything, the socks hanging there, you see the underwear hanging there. Everything's in a clear tote. So you know what you're full of, you know what you need. And it's just, I'm sorry. It's beautiful because you walk through and you see the community, you see the love. Because everything's hanging there, everything's in the tote, it's because of you guys. And we wouldn't be able to do this without you. So I thank you. I thank you so much. And there was something else I was going to say, but I forgot. So anyways, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Any questions?
When's a good time to come by and walk through?
We're there Wednesdays from 9 until 2.
Okay.
So anytime. Yes, ma'am.
What age group do you find you have the least amount of donations for? Is it harder to pack for a teenager versus a very young child?
That's a good question. It's really difficult to pack for like a teenager. Most of our clothing requests are 18 months through 5 years, and then that's the biggest need, and that's the age that they usually go into foster care or something happens, you know. And then the teenage, we usually don't do a lot of teenage dressing because sadly most of our kids, poverty and obesity go hand in hand. So a lot of our kids are overweight, obese. We get a lot of kids who are in the 6th grade who are in a 2X or a 1X. So, yeah. Because whatever they're going through, whatever's happened to them, like I said, we clothe kids who are in need and high-risk kids. The high-risk kids, that falls under several layers of abuse, whatever that abuse is. Drugs, mental, physical, sexual, emotional. So how they deal with that is they eat. And that's their comfort. So a lot of these kids, most of our kids are obese. I have several this week. They're just in grade school, but they're a 1X or a 2X. So when people ask us, we usually ask for a lot of like women's large, extra large, leggings. Leggings are very helpful because that's just easy, you know, to put on. And speaking of leggings, we also the county and the city schools, the nurses and the guidance counselors' offices, they have like a clothing pantry, and we keep all that stocked with socks, underwear, leggings, shorts, t-shirts, jogging bras. So they go through a lot of leggings. Yes, ma'am.
Is all of the clothes donated, or do you use some of the funds to go out and purchase clothes where you have like one of those needs for larger sizes for your younger kids?
Yes, most of the clothes are donated. When we go through the bags, we always keep like the best of the best, because our motto is clothing with confidence. We want them to feel good about what they're wearing. If there's anything that we do not have, that we're short of, I can go by with the donations that we get from y'all. But before I do that, I always try to put out a post, and it's just amazing. Like the other day, I put a post on Facebook of underwear that we needed, and I walked in the next day and the drop chute was filled with bags full of underwear. I mean, it's such a blessing. Such a blessing. So yeah, I can go buy whatever we don't have. And a lot of times I have to do that with the older boys and girls who are in bigger clothing. And then we've also got some kids who, like really tall kids, if they're like, I have to, like a special order or size 16 shoe. I found a website, bigshoes.com. Yeah.
And you do buy new socks and underwear.
Every child gets a brand new pack of socks and underwear. Yes, ma'am.
Sarah, what would you, if you were awarded tonight, what would you use that fund for? Is there a big ticket item that you need, or are there other needs that would help with?
It would go towards probably a lot of new shoes.
Yeah, they're expensive.
They are expensive, but you know, there's some you hear so many stories of like when they get just packs of socks or just packs of underwear, they're like, I've never had that before. I mean, you hear these stories, or they've never had their own pair of shoes. You know, I mean, you just hear these heartbreaking stories. So I would love, and I've talked to Tina about this before, I would love for every kid to get brand new shoes.
Right.
You know, the shoes that come in, we try to keep them gently used, but they're used.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
sometimes they look like, oh wow, these look brand new, and you know, these are keepers. You know, but I would really love to use that, and just all these kids have brand new shoes, because that's what they need in school. We have to do school dress code, so we really can't do like the ankle booties or anything kind of like cute or anything like that. It's all tennis shoes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And next up is Hands of Mercy. Waiting for my sign there. I was telling Sarah, I was like, that 5 minutes really goes quick. So.
It does.
Okay. I'm Tina Hudson. I am the president, co-founder, director, wear a lot of different hats at Hands of Mercy. Hands of Mercy is just an all-encompassing outreach center is our name. We really just want to reach out to our community and kind of meet any need. A lot of our ministries that we have focus on feeding, but we have some new ministries that I'll go over here in a minute. We are open at our building, which is located at 101 Easy Street, on every Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 3. And that's kind of the hub, I call it, of our ministry, where we give out our food. The food can be given out to our clients once a month. They do have to have proof of Lincoln County residency and proof of income in order to get food, but they can come once a month. And we have probably about 80 to 85% of our clients. Something's funny there. Anyway, it's not me. But about 80 to 85% of our clients are elderly, living on a very fixed income. So it's not the stereotypical, these people are just not wanting to work kind of thing. And I kind of get on my soapbox really quickly when people say that, because I always let them know, come and work for one day at Hands of Mercy and see these people that they don't want to have to be there, but they are. And I'm grateful that we are able to be there. And some of the other ministries that we do, I know we've got on March 4th, we've got a mobile food pantry coming up. So that is just a second food distribution that we do for the community. And we usually try to do those 2 to 3 times a year. And it's basically just a big tractor trailer full of food we buy, and we feed about 250 families off of that. They have to pre-register, and we do drive-through from our location. So that's another ministry that we do that reaches out to the community. We also have our weekend feeding program, which is called BOBS, which stands for Bags of Blessings. And those are for food insecure children that are in the school system, city and county. Food insecure basically just means on Fridays, they go home, they don't know if there's food in their home for the weekend. And that to me is just a sad place to be, for a kid to go home. You know, most of them are getting breakfast and lunch for free, but a lot of these kids go home with no food. And so that food is provided to them. We pack it on Thursday mornings. The counselors identify the children. We get it to them at the schools. And I think right now we're around 190 kids a week that we're doing through the city and county schools. So that's a great ministry that we do. I just can't stand a kid being hungry, you know. And then we have a lot of different ministries that we do, like around Christmas and Thanksgiving, where we do extra meals for people. We feed the residents at Fayetteville Square at Christmas time and do things for them. And then our newest ministry that we have, good, I got 2 minutes to talk about that. Our newest ministry that we have is a partnership with Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And it's a bed ministry where we actually build beds. And we just had a build day this past Saturday at Marvin's Building Supply, and that's our second one. We had our first one here at First United Methodist Church parking lot. And if you've never seen it, and I know you got to see it in action, it is amazing to see. And we're actually just partnering with the South Pittsburgh chapter, and we've just kind of become a satellite location for them. And it's been working out lovely. I mean, we haven't had to do the investment of the tools and things like that. He's able to do that. But oh my goodness, y'all, I did not know that there were kids in our community that did not have a bed to sleep in. And I think, I looked at the numbers right before I got here, I think we're at 108 beds that we've installed since the 1st of August of this past year. And it's so, a lot of these kids that we're delivering to, I mean, I'm talking 8, 10, 12 years old, tell us, this is the first bed I've ever had of my own. I've never had a bed. I've never had a bed. I've slept on the floor for 10 years of my life, y'all. I mean, I just never fathomed that there were kids in our community that were sleeping literally on the floor. I know we had 3 sisters that we went in to do their site visit, and they literally had they didn't even have pillows, y'all. They just had blankets and a box for their clothes to be in. And it's just so humbling to be a part of this ministry that is offering, you know, these beds to these children. And I can't say thank you enough to the community for everything. I mean, I told Sarah earlier, we have never felt a nudge for God to start a ministry where the community has not provided the need. And I know God provides, but people have to be willing to give and do what God's called them to do and asked them to do. So I just thank y'all so much for letting me be here tonight and for, nominating us for this. So, yes, ma'am. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
How much does it cost to build a bed?
$250 is the cost for the bed. Now that's bedding, mattress, all of that. Now if you want to sponsor just a mattress, it's $70. Because the bedding and the pillows, I'll be real honest, the community has, oh my goodness, I just left Marvin's Building Supply. I can't even tell you how many I picked up. I mean, pillows and comforters and bed and bags. And of course the lumber is where, we get into the big cost when we have the build days. Right now I'm trying to get sponsorships and partnerships with churches or large organizations that would want to say, hey, we'll sponsor a 20-bed build day. Maybe it's, I don't know. I don't want to throw out names because I'm hounding people already like, hey, let's do a bed build. But that's kind of the way I'm trying to work it to help it better on our budget. And plus it gives them an opportunity, if it's their corporation, they get to be a part of that build day. And I'm telling y'all, once you're a part of it, I mean, and some of y'all, I know Miss Ann, it is just amazing to see a group of people coming together. And we just built 80 beds at our one we did 2 Saturdays ago. And it was just fabulous. I mean, it was amazing. So.
Where do you get the names for the children, for the beds?
For the beds, those are requested by the parent or guardian themselves. So they do have to go on the website and make the request. Then we do go through a process where we vet them
We actually do a site visit, and I'm gonna be real honest, that's where the rubber meets the road. Because you can say you have a need all day long, but until you walk in that person's door and you see the way those children are living, and it's been the hardest thing to walk out that door, get in my car, and think, gosh, it's gonna be 2 weeks before those babies get a bed. I mean, we've had kids living in sheds with no power, no water. It was freezing cold, sleeping on the concrete floor. I mean, I was like, I was on the phone, we gotta get beds for these kids now. And so that's kind of where they come from. But we do have a process that we go to make sure it's a legitimate need. We measure the beds, because sometimes people think, oh, I wanna put 3 beds in this room, and I'm like, no, honey, we're barely gonna get 2 beds in here, you know. Of course, we have bunk beds, so we try to do those when we can. But yeah, so that's how the process works. Yes,
What
ma'am.
about the food insecurity during the summer? Is there something in place?
No, ma'am. We tried a summer feeding program. It just, because of the way our county is so spread out, it was so hard. We hosted sites at the schools, but getting the kids to the schools. I mean, I've even looked in like getting an old school bus and taking it around, but I'd have to probably have like 8 school buses running, because our community is just, I mean, you think about the distance between Blanche or Flintville or Unity or Flintville. I mean, it's just so spread out. It's really, but it weighs on me, because I talk to teachers all the time, or like, they say a kid over Christmas break will lose 10 pounds because they're not eating. And that to me just should not happen. So, it's something that I don't know, but I don't know what the fix is. So we try to do, the best we can as far as like putting extra stuff in at the end of the school year. But, just have to pray that hopefully they're getting fed somewhere until a solution comes along that we can make happen. So, anything else? Anybody? Okay. Thank you guys so much.
Next up is Southern Alliance Spay Neuter Clinic.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Cowan. I'm from Southern Alliance Spay Neuter Clinic. We are located in Park City, and we are a clinic that provides low-cost spay neuter for pets belonging to low-income families and elderly families in Lincoln County. What we're doing right now is we offer a voucher program for qualifying families. They can come to us, show us proof of income. We'll get them a voucher to have their cat or dog spayed at a couple of clinics. There's one in Shelbyville, and there's one also in Huntsville. And typically it costs about $10 to have a cat spayed and $20 for a dog. That would be males or females. Of course, they provide the transportation to get their dogs there and their cats there and get them back. Actually, it's worked out really well. This past year, we probably had about 500 dogs and cats belonging to families here in Lincoln County. What we do, why we do it, we believe in saving lives through prevention. It is unreal, the pet overpopulation in Lincoln County. Dogs and cats, and I know you guys have heard a lot from the animal shelter. They take in a lot of animals when they can, but even they can't handle the number of animals that are born and don't have homes. Puppies and kittens, well, cats can have up to 3 litters of kittens a year, if you can imagine that, and they typically will have an average of 5 kittens per litter. Dogs will have 1 to 2 litters a year, and the bigger the dog, the more puppies there are. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that I could provide a home for, 10 puppies, or even find homes for 10 puppies, or 3 litters of kittens a year. That's just, just unreal, just unimaginable. But there's people out there that they don't have an option. They have these pets. They can't afford to take them to a regular veterinary clinic. For female dogs, it'll cost anywhere from $300 to $500 to have them spayed. A lot of times there's even more cost because they'll need extra services. Male dogs will cost usually around between $200 and $300. Female cats can also cost $200 to $300, and male cats too. And just think about those families that are barely putting food on the table, and then they have a pet, and they don't need more mouths to feed. So they really need to get those animals fixed. My thought has always been that everybody deserves to have a pet. Everybody deserves to be able to take care of their pet to the best of their ability. And the number one thing for them is to have them spayed and neutered. And if they never see a vet again, at least they've seen them one time, gotten vaccines at that one time, got them spayed at that one time. So for some people, a dog or cat may be the only companion they have. Children, I mean, they all deserve to have that puppy or kitten, to grow up with, someone that loves them unconditionally. Same for adults, you come home and who's wagging their tail when there's nobody else around, they're glad to see you. And you don't need more mouths to feed. Another thing for dogs and cats, having them spayed and neutered has a lot of benefits for female dogs and cats. It reduces the chances of them having mammary cancer or uterine cancer. Same thing for male dogs. That eliminates testicular cancer, reduces prostate cancer, makes them healthier, live longer. Less chances of them getting sick and having to see a vet. Also keeps them home. They're not out running around chasing all those females, getting out in the road, getting run over. That's the hardest thing for me to see, is driving down the road and see an animal, a dog or cat, in the middle of the road, because there's so many that they're not living right inside people's house. They're out running around and they get run over. That's really disheartening. The way we work is that we work off of donations from our community. We do some fundraisers, and we've had some awesome turnouts for fundraisers. People have really supported us. We have been there since 2013. We've done over 21,000 surgeries in that amount of time. Right now we are doing the voucher program because we lost our veterinarian, but we are still looking for a veterinarian, and 500 surgeries a year seems like a lot, but we're wanting to get right back up to where we were, and that was about 3,000 surgeries a year. I just really appreciate what everyone helps us do. We have some amazing volunteers, and just really a lot of support in this community, which is, awesome. Everybody loves their animals, and I can tell. I just want to thank you for this opportunity to speak to you guys tonight and let you know what we do, and just thank you. All right, are there any questions?
What about the feral animals?
Feral cats.
Yeah.
There are several people out there and groups that actually will trap those feral cats. And when we can, and sometimes it's hard when we had a veterinarian, we took them in every day that we were doing surgery. Now we get as many of those people to trap, and we'll send them to those other 2 clinics to have those animals fixed. And we have one fund that we used for that, because those are not owned animals, but they still need to get fixed and returned back to where they come from. And as far as dogs, feral dogs, we really haven't dealt with a whole lot of feral dogs, but they're out there too. Any more questions? Yes, ma'am.
So the difference between the cost of the voucher and the cost of the procedure, do either of the clinics that you work with subsidize that? for
They
you?
do not. We subsidize that amount. That $10 or $20 is just basically to hold that appointment for them. And then we pay the rest of that cost. It gets their animals spayed or neutered and gets them a rabies shot. Probably 99% of the animals in this county have not had a rabies shot because they've never been to a vet. So we get that done too. Anybody else? Okay, thank you.
Don't worry about it. We'll just post it afterward. Thank you so much for taking your time to come and speak to us about your organizations, and how they assist our community and how our community can help you. Now it's time to vote. So each of our members received an email with the link to cast their vote. You have 5 minutes to submit your vote. And if you have any questions, let us know and we will announce the winner shortly. And if anybody needs any more paper ballots, just let us know. I turned it on.
Did you turn it up?
Oh, it says sorry, there was a problem. Okay.
Yeah, mine says it's no longer accepted.
Okay, now try it.
That's what mine said.
Okay, now try it. Mine's,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Oh, wait. Do I have to try it again? I'm gonna start putting the tissues out here at each of the tables. I need to start putting one in my. Yeah, me too, yes.
Flip their ballots.
Let me get you started. I'm so sorry. I hope I cram anything. Just.
don't know an exact cost. Like, when you choose one cost, they just tell you, they tell you you have to collect on their website. So S4, S4S is like the short version.
Unless I go the other way. I know, until another road comes in.
I told her I need, so we were just talking about when you sold our shirt.
Well, now that we have this, are you gonna do, are you gonna do this live on?
It wouldn't let me, so we weren't eligible, I don't know what that means, but my Facebook Live died.
Well, then I'm gonna stop this so we can go back to Facebook Live and check the results.
We'll just post your video. As soon as we're done, we'll end your video and post it. That way people don't wait a minute.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna turn it
I
back.
can tell them here too. Send a text. There are 8 people, 6 people watching online.
Oh, yeah. Make a comment and say we're gonna post a video.
Stopped it.
Once you write it down on one of them blank cards.
I'm just gonna hang on.
Did the Grammys or Oscars or something said a long name, I don't care if I remember if there's a long name, we're just gonna have to eat it. Cause I don't know.
Okay, real quick before I announce the winner, I want to update everybody on where we're at. So, we have collectively donated over $50,000 to benefit nonprofits in Lincoln County. As of today, we have. As of today, we have 63 members and 4 teams. So that is $6,700 maximum that we can raise. Now, I will say that not everybody donates. So if you know somebody that's a member, push them, nudge them, remind them to please donate. Our goal is 100 women. That would be $10,000. So if you know anyone that's on the fence, just tell them to come. They don't, I mean, just come and sit with us, eat a brownie. We can talk anybody into anything with sugar and cookies. So, so please help us get the word out. The more members, the bigger impact that we can make. Y'all, I know it's a struggle every time we do this. Like every single meeting we've had, I take that back. There may have been one meeting out of 10 now that have not been an incredibly close call. Like most of them, our votes have been a 1 vote difference. We've had a few that were 2 vote difference, and then we had one that was a big swing. So like this time it's no different. It was a 1 vote difference. And so anyway, tonight's winner is Hands of Mercy. So please remember to make your checks payable to Hands of Mercy and submit all donations. We're asking for all donations to come in very quickly. And so we're asking them to be in 1 week by next Monday. And then you'll mail those to, you'll make the check payable to Hands of Mercy, and you can mail it to P.O. Box 1450 in Fayetteville, Tennessee 37334, or you can message us and call us and we can arrange a pickup. And thank you so much for spending time with us tonight. And remember to visit. Huh?
Do we, if we mail it in, do we send it to Power 100 or Hands of Mercy?
You will address the envelope to Power of 100, but you will make that check payable to Hands of Mercy. If you don't, I'm gonna call you.
So can we not hand them? to
Yes, tonight you can just give them to us. Yes, yes, give them to us, but just if you have to mail, let me know. And then don't forget to visit our website, power100womenlc.com, to become a member or register for our next event.
Yeah.
What's the